Welcome back YouTube, 2 UK, Tales from the Booter.
Looks like
Booting.
back on the menu, boys!
We're back booting, it was fucking back on the menu. Barely, just about. So just you there, changing the angle, switching it up. Bit of a different video, I'll do a preamble all around that. It's 33 degrees, this is Monday, bank holiday Monday, it's the coolest day. I mean, I couldn't have done it yesterday, I was absolutely fucked. I probably shouldn't swear. But yeah, it was too bloody hot, there's no chance of doing any videos yesterday in here. It's bad enough now, and it's, like I say, it's not really even that sunny. And I'm leaking, so I do apologise. Hence why we've got the wife beater back on, the old Bruce Willis. We're trying to die hard at the booter. But we went to the car boot, but it actually went stalled out. It wasn't really selling my tat, it was more the wife's tat, which is there is vast amounts of such tat, which is probably I've got vast amounts of tat as well. But it's more like kids' clothes, stuff out of the garage, odds and sods, you know, that you've accumulated, extra screens, old type screens, you know, TVs and stuff like that. They're just taking up space, especially with the view of the games room sort of next year. Maybe a tail end of this year, probably looking more like next year to get a builder out. So yeah, it was, you know, and it was a long day. It was a tough old day, but I'll say we went. Well, I went anyway to buy. She was sort of selling. Did help her set up. Did all that. So she just had to stand there and take the money, and I let keep most of it except for £20. So she was very kind to allow me 20 quid, which just basically offset the difference that I borrowed. I had to borrow some to actually go. Like I said to you guys before, the will and inclination really hasn't been there the last couple of weeks, and obviously the finances haven't been there. So it's a no-brainer. You know, if you ain't got the money, you ain't going anyway. So I thought, well, if I'm going to go, I might as well at least have a nose round. Like I say, so I did a borrow of 20 quid. Managed to make 20 quid back. So it's all even itself out. So technically, this stuff's cost me nout. Realistically, well, maybe 20 quid. Yeah, because I probably spent about 40 odd quid, something like that. So maybe like 20 odd quid, but there's more than 20 quid in here. We'll come to that. We'll come to what we've managed to bag. So changing it all up. I'll change it all up from now on. So I say like a bit of a preamble in terms of what I'm hoping to try and do with these type of videos, like Tales from the Booter videos. And it might not just be Tales from the Booter, it might just be Tales from the Blast Furnace or whatever. But basically, you're probably seeing it. It's going to be subtitled "Resell to Collect" or words to that effect, something along them lines. So look, it's no news to most people, and especially people that move in the circles I move in. This is what near enough everybody does, unless you're fortunate enough to you know, have shit tons of a disposable income. Most people, to some degree or other, they buy and sell to build a collection. Now, how you do that and the means and mechanisms that you use to do that can vary, but the long and short of it is, you're buying something, you're selling it for more to then add to your collection. Now, be it you buy a bulk lot for cheaper, you keep the games you want, and then you sell the rest on, and then the games you kept don't cost you anything. You know, everyone does it differently, but the end outcome is the same for everybody. Now, whether you're buying off Facebook Marketplace and you keep some of the stuff and then you sell it back to Facebook Marketplace, you buy from the car boot, you sell it on eBay, you buy from the car boot, you sell it to CEX. You see where I'm coming from? People will have certain opinions and views on how they do it and what they think, oh, that's a bit scummyish or that's not right. The long and short of it all is, they're all equally as valid. It's just a personal preference to how you go about doing it. That's my personal... People buy from charity shops and they'll sell to CX. Hey, people buy from charity shops, buy from car boots, and they take them to a gaming show and sell stuff there. But for some reason, that's viewed less, I don't know, less lizardy than eBay or whatever. I don't know. Look, in the past, hold hands up, hand on heart, and all that kind of stuff, you know, I was totally against that sort of method, because I was basically building my collection. Everything I was buying, I was really keeping. There's very little being sold, and I wasn't doing it for a living. and this isn't doing it for a living, by the way. I'm not. You don't need this to live on by any stretch of imagination. It is just to put back into the collection, not to sort of say the collection would ever stall or stop. Well, it would probably stall. It wouldn't stop, but it'll be limited. It'll be limited to what funds of disposable funds I have, you know, of a month. Be it 50 quid, 100 quid, 200, whatever it might be. You know, well, I've touched on this before. You know, you have, I don't know, your pocket money, if that's the right word. You know, even as adults, you know, you've got to pay your bills first and stuff. So, you know, I don't need any of this to pay any bills or anything daft like that. But it does help to fund and build that collection. Like I say, it might be cash, it might be CEX credit, but the whys or wherefores or the ways you go about building that collection are irrelevant, because at the end of the day, the end goal, the end result is still the same. In whatever form it's adding to your collection, and hopefully the idea being it costs you little to or nothing to do it. Obviously some people are probably less knowledgeable perhaps, and maybe they make mistakes and you drop short, but you tell you what, you do it once or twice and you soon learn. So I hope that makes sense. So in terms of, if we keep that in mind in these videos, so some of the stuff here, look, there's a multitude of ways that you can do this. You know, one guy I used to watch, Ben Fitzpatrick, my mate Ryan put me onto. That's how he started. Now he's a full-time reseller and he does it as a job. It kind of got away from him. I suppose it didn't. He probably just evolved, and that's what he enjoyed doing. So you can buy stuff that you like, that you're interested in, that you sell, or you do it the other way and you buy stuff that you've got no interest in, but you know fucking makes money. I do a little bit of both, to be honest. I buy stuff that does interest me, and there's some stuff that, look, I'm not really that bothered by it. It's not really my thing, but I know there's money in it. And hopefully, maybe this summer, or you know, whatever it is this year, I might start showing some of that stuff, and say it might give some people some ideas. I might be completely off fucking mark with it. There's loads of channels on YouTube, you know, eBay resellers and all that kind of stuff, that people do this for a living, and they're fucking, you know, way out there in terms of tactics and techniques and all that kind of stuff. I ain't trying to compete with that. This is just my journey. This is me showing you guys how I do it and how I've done it for the last couple of years, to be honest. Like I said before, and a lot of people again that do this kind of stuff along similar lines to myself, they'll tell you the retro stuff is getting thinner and thinner on the ground, right? So what do you do when that happens? And this was the turning point for me. When that starts to happen and you're at the car boot, you think, well, there's no PS1 game, there's no SNES stuff or whatever it might be. But look, hey, look, there's this fucking, I don't know, vintage board game there. But that sells for 50 quid on eBay. The guy wants 3 quid. But wouldn't I pay 3 quid, sell that for 50, and then I'll buy the retro games that I would have loved to have bought at the car boot with those funds. That's the general gist of it. That's how it all started for me. And it was just like, not a light bulb moment or a eureka moment, but it was like, look, I need to adapt. I need to adapt and change, or I'm just going to keep coming away from the car boot empty-handed, and it's be a waste of time. And I didn't want that to happen, and I say it ended up being a very, not mega successful, but like I say, it helps you to build the collection. That was a bit of a fucking preamble, but I just wanted to, I'm not going to do that every video, so it's just the first one, just so everyone's on the same page, you know, we're all singing off the same hymn sheet, so you know exactly where I'm coming from. Some people are probably not going to like this, and I get that, but it's either I do this kind of style video regarding the booters, or you know, the tales from the booters will be like fucking once a month, if that, and I'll just have to try and save all the stuff up, if I even bother to save it up. Say, in the past I haven't, when I've been, a lot of stuff just gone straight into fucking CEX, because it's just not worth showing on a video. So I say, thoughts down below. Some people will go, no shit, you're a sellout or whatever, but trust me, I've been doing this for, I'm being honest here, I've been doing it for many a year now, so I just haven't told you. But many people would know. You guys ain't daft, you guys and girls ain't daft, you know that, you know the fucking score. And that's how a lot of these people at the retro events, you know, your video games markets, your Doncasters and your Leeds, that's how all that stock source, 80% of it, You know, there are some people that do have contacts and they can, you know, they buy vast collections and stuff, but the smaller people, it's all that kind of stuff, charity shops, this, that and the other. So I say I'm not the only one. Look at my bloody hair sweating like a... Right, with that in mind, so we went to the car boot, as I say. It was obviously the bank holiday one, so it was quite busy, even for the Easter, to be honest. I mentioned in the previous vid, historically, this would have been the first one of the year. I think even when I speak to my mate Ryan, he speaking to Joni, he sort of said, well, this time last year there was still snow on the ground. So, you know, although I've missed a couple, historically, I technically haven't, if that makes sense. But it was on, and it was big, and it was warm. It was fucking roasting, weren't it? It was gorgeous. Seeing Lewis there, I don't think Lewis was too happy about seeing me, because he's had the rub of the green for the last couple of weeks, and then our fatted ear rocks up. So I think he was a little bit like, ooh. But I'd like to think I did him a good fucking turn on a job lot of stuff, and he got a great deal. No interest to me at all. So as soon as I saw him coming over, I said, "Look, you collect for this, don't you?" And whether he sells them all or he keeps them all, I don't. It's up to him. They didn't really interest me. It's not my thing. You might see it in one of his videos if he puts it in. But he got some nice games, put it that way. Right, so what did I get? So what's the best way of doing this? Maybe discuss what I got, what I paid for it, and what I think it's worth. That's what generally these sort of reseller videos do, or what they're hoping to get. Some of this stuff I've sold before in the past, I've had before in the past and I've sold, so I've got a rough idea. Obviously I always have a rough idea of most stuff. Some things is just fucking completely wing it, sometimes. And it pays off, and sometimes it don't. No particular order. A couple of bits of, what do they call it, media. That's what the reselling channel's called. Some media, let's do media. For £1, Sims 3, this used to be about £10 game CX. Not anymore. I think it's about £3, so I've tripled my money. If you are buying this to flog on to CX, make sure you have the manual, because you need the code. If it hasn't got the manual, CX won't take it. It's next to useless, so top tip there. But say £1, if you can get it for 50p, even cheaper, Sims 3, worth a punt. Be careful on the add-on packs, because CX don't take... Well, CX will take them, but they have to be sealed. And 9 times out of 10, if you get them from the boot, they're probably not going to be sealed. And some of them ain't worth diddly squat. But I say I knew that one had some value to it. Turns out it's dropped. Been a while since I picked that one up. The staple of any car boot. The staple of any fucking trading in shit. Mario Kart Wii. For a, what did I pay the lady? £2.50. She wanted £3. She had a bag of Wii stuff. She was banging on about, I've got a Wii in here, and it's got all the golf bits, and I thought, oh fucking hell, bag full of plastic landfill. No, you're alright. So I said, I'll have a look. The game shed weren't great, then that one was in there. I said, look, we'll just sell one of the games on its own. She sort of wondered, and I sort of said, I'm only after the one. I said, there's still like Wii Play in there, you know, the ones that ain't really worth anything. A couple of the kiddies' fucking compendiums and stuff. And he said, oh, £3. I said 2. We met in the middle at £2.50, so it was £12 or something. Fodder. Straight in. We'll stick with some media. I will have to jump about a bit. There is some gaming stuff and there is some non-gaming stuff. This one ended up being pretty decent, actually. Lady there with a young daughter, completely overwhelmed. She had bags and boxes, turned up in on them big sort of 4x4 type vehicles. But she was really nice as well in both ways, if you know what I mean. Tight. But anyway, I sort of said to her, look, have you got any games? She said, yes, I've got some PlayStation 3 stuff. Now, normally I'd be like, oh, no. Even when people say Xbox 360, it's sort of like, I thought, no, fuck it, I'll have a look. I think I'd only bought them 2 games at that point anyway. But I'll have a look. And it took her ages to find this bag, because she kept telling me it was in a white bag, it ended up being a blue bag. We found them anyway. I said, how much are they? She said 50p each. Now, I thought, well, I'll get them all. You know, I'm going to get them all, but because I knew some of them weren't even worth fucking 50p. So yeah, so I picked up 4. So that was obviously £2. Then this was in the bottom, so I chucked that in, and I sort of said to her, oh, would you do all these for £3? She said yes. So for £3 in the least value, and this one's the arse fell out of this, I don't bother buying it. Uncharted 3, forget about it. I think it's about 60p or 40p, so I've lost on that one. Terraria, a couple of quid on that, I think, if I'm lucky, so that's not too bad. Shadow of Mordor, again, a couple of quid on that, so not too bad. The one that really surprised me, well, I suppose it didn't. I remember like a year, 2 years ago. This is like you get like £1 for it from CEX. I think that's 7 quid, 6-7 quid. Red Dead Redemption. Now normally the PS3 stuff as well fucking doesn't hold its value. The Xbox 360, because of the backwards compatibility and whatnot, tends to be a bit better. But I was really surprised. I just took a flight at 50p. I thought, okay, worst case, with this included, I'm not going to lose any money. And it's a PS3 wireless controller, and it is a legit. Got all the codes and shit like that. So, what's that? 14 quid. So that's how I looked at it. So worst case, if them games are not worth out, then we're all right. But for 3 quid, what's that? Probably about 20 odd. 15, yeah, about 25 quid maybe credit, because that's what I'll go for. I'll go for CX credit. I don't think I've ever took cash, you know, from CX. Can't recall it anyway. Should we do all the gaming stuff first, and then I tell you what, and them that ain't interested in the non-game stuff can obviously go and do something else. Don't watch, just watch that. Do something more interesting. Right. So this lady, move them over the way. This room is smaller than you think. It's like the fucking TARDIS in here. What does she do? Oh God, she had there's a lot of women and daughters today, and looking here, to be honest. And I walked up to this car and it had 2 massive tubs. Like 2, not IKEA tubs. What are they? The big plastic fucking 24 litre things, you know, see through. And I looked in there, I thought, my God, it's been a while since I've seen some of these. And a few of the lads I've told about these already, so that everyone knows about them. I might have mentioned them on the channel, I can't remember. But VHS tapes, yes, there's money in there, and there is money in cassettes as well. Although that's not something I'm too au fait with. Music isn't really my thing. No nonsense reseller, my mate Pete. Old school variety fez. I forgot what the channel was called. No nonsense reseller. He knows his music. He knows the tapes that have got some value to it, and some of them have. Trust me. I think they might be going like the vinyl. CDs are coming back as well, apparently. But I say music ain't my thing. As and when I'm more aware of it. Like I said before, got no interest in it, but from those money I'll have it and I'll sell it. But these I do have interest in, and again, these bring back memories. Just looking at these will be sold. I know there's some money in them. So like I say, 2 massive tubs of VHS tapes. My mate Minx 36, he kind of like, well, he got me onto the old VHS. Keep an eye out for them, because he used to collect the X-rated or unrated horror movies. You know, like a Spit on Your Grave and stuff like that. I can't remember. There's loads of them, but they're unrated, so they've got no British the certificate fucking thing. BBFC, isn't it? British Film and Broadcasting fucking something or other. Anyway, they have to have no rating on them, right? So they're basically uncut. They're unedited, so they're just released as they are. They're worth fucking hundreds of pounds. But off the back of that, it's, like I say, started getting me looking at these boxes of VHS tapes. There used to be fucking tons of them at Carboot. Everyone wanted to get rid of them. No one wanted them, right? So it's been a while since I've come across some of these. So I looked in there, and they're all what they call pass-throughs. So the pass-through ones are the smaller form factors, like you used to see in HMV, and they're just churned out. The main one, and this is not a hard and fast rule, because Craig Minks told me this as well. He says some of the pass-through ones are worth money, and I've had 1 or 2 that have been worth money as well. So it's not an exact science, but generally, the ones that are ex-rental, which are the taller, bigger boxes you'll see now, they tend to have a bit more value to them, especially if they're 80s 90s movies. So stuff like, if you get the Goonies in the squishy cases, you've all seen them. That's money there. I've had Goonies before. I've had the original Star Wars as well. That's got money to them. So I've seen these three anyway. They were all covered in dust. So I had a bit of a laugh and a giggle with us, saying, look, I've got tuberculosis off these. I said, how much are the VHS? She said, well, I don't know, what do you think? I said, well, normally 20p. I said, I've got three here, would you take £1? She said, go on then. So I paid her £1, and we got Mr. Schwarzenegger, Total Recall. So as you can see, these are the bigger as my head. X Rental. That's what you're after. X Rental. I made some here. Sharon Stone. Iconic artwork on some of these. I love it. We then got another 80s action hero. I've seen this one before. I think there's less value in this. And it's Stallone Daylight. That's a good movie, you know. A bit underrated. So as you can see, look, X Blockbuster. So these are X Rentals, hence the big boxes. And that's what people tend to go after. It's almost like in the video game, it's almost like Black Label or Platinum, if you like. So these are the originals, whereas in the pass-throughs are like the Platinums. This one I've never seen, actually, X Rental. First time I've had this. I've had Daylight before, and I think I've had Total Recall before. But this is Cliffhanger. Again, another underrated movie. I really like this movie. It's got the English guy in it, innit? Kicks him like a football. I can't remember what his name is now. Craig something. Craig. He was in, was he out of EastEnders? I can't find his name. God, the writing's so small. I'm sure it's Craig something. Everyone's going to shout at me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Cliffhanger. Bit of damage to the old label. So you can see there, look. One of the things to note on VHS tapes is mould. If you start seeing white specks on here, it means there's mould. People less likely to buy them. They might still buy them for the case, you know, case upgrade. But again, it's all like very, very akin to video game collection. It's all conditioned. It's all using parts and using bits and upgrading and stuff like that. So, quid. They're like, yeah, I'll take that for £1. And as I went up to pay her, I looked in the back of the car, and I seen a luminous green edge. And I just sort of said, oh, you don't happen to have any games, any video game stuff, do you? She said, oh yeah, my husband's given me a load of stuff in the bag somewhere. She said, I've got the whole Lego Dimensions set, which people hear Lego, they think money. I was like, oh, okay. She said, well, I think there might be some other games as well. I said, well, I'll be interested to look at the other games. So she goes in this bag, starts pulling out a few Xbox 360 games. And she said, oh, I think that's it. And I'm like, I can see some more there. So she gets some more out, and there were nothing exciting. I think they were like FIFA and stuff like that. Nothing exciting. Anyway, so how much are the games? £2 each. He's told me £2 each. I said, fine. So I had 2, 4, 6, 8. I had 8 here. So I said, okay, there's £8 there. Yeah, because we'll do that one after, because that's slightly different. Yeah, because that came with something else. So I had £8 here, right? Lego Batman, again, a couple of quid. Not a great one. This one, the answers fell out of this. I should have known. I'm pretty sure Lewis mentioned it. It's worth next to now. It's not worth £2. This one, again, a couple of quid, so I've not lost out on that. And this one's made me a bit of money. Skate 3. That's probably about £7 odd. So that was so I had the 3 VHS. I had these obviously games here, and then I looked into the back of the car. Oh, I wasn't in the boot or anything like that. I just stood there chatting to her, and I could see this bag. So I could see like a logo, a name on this bag. I thought I recognise that. And the lad next door's got some of this stuff. I'll show you that after. I'll just show you this bit. She says, oh, what's that there? And she said, oh, my husband said he wants £10 for that, and I'll show you it in a minute. So I said, oh, well, I'll have that then. She read out a little text thing about it, and which I was like, yeah, whatever. I said, I love that. And as we moved this bag out of the way, she found this Lego Dimension stuff. And in the box was some controllers. I think one was third party and one was an original one. So I said to her, well, look, I've got £8 here. Yeah. Would you do this for £2? She said, fine. So that's another, what, tenner from game. So, you know, my £10, it's pretty much doubled, if not a little bit more. So we had £10 there, and I said, oh, and obviously £10 for this other bag of stuff. And as she brought out the other bag of stuff, I noticed this. I said, oh, what's... That's just literally buying everything as it was coming out of her car. She said, oh, he wants £5 for that. I opened it up, looked at it, and went, yeah, I'll have that. And I stuck it to the side. So anyway, I ended up all in. It was like £25. I didn't even haggle. Just paid the lady. So we had £10 here. £5 on this. I think this is going to be the buy of the day. Samsung Galaxy Gear. It is like it's like the Samsung's equivalent to the iWatch or whatever you call it. It's in fantastic condition. I've charged it all up. It looks like it's all there. Bare minimum CX vouchers is about £30. I think this might be an A. So I think that might go up to about £40, 40, 50 quid. I think they sell it for 50, 60 quid. Could be a bit out on the prices, but I think my £5 is pretty safe in that. When I say it's probably the buy, I think just in terms of it's the hassle factor, this may end up being the better one. So the other bag of stuff, or the bag of thing that she had, that she wanted £10 for, is this. And what I saw is that. So there's this little hot. This needs to go in the washing machine. So it's like a little holder, and it was obviously full. Them's at no Tamiya of radio control car, and we have two Subaru Impreza Colin McRae shells. One, she read out this thing like it needs a battery. One of the shells hasn't been used. One has, and I can clearly see which one has and which one hasn't. Right. So because that one's really clean inside, a little bit dusty on top. I've checked. I did a brief check yesterday before I got so far inebriated, because you can use this for petrol and electric. This is electric, the one I've got here. I think that on its own is about 20 quid. Right. The bag of similar ones sold for about 25 quid. So you've seen the lid. I mean, there's not a great deal to look at. I've got to see the lad next door, but that's the main body of it. Apparently it's missing the battery. Don't know. I think it is an original Tamiya. I've got no way of knowing. There doesn't seem to be any maker's marks on it or anywhere that I can see. But it come with, and again, this on its own is what, 25, 30 quid. It's come with the remote. I've had one of these before. I had a box one. ACOMs they're called. Slightly different to this. And I say I sold that for 25, 30 quid, something like that. I can't remember. Might have been more because it's boxed. So yeah, once you start dividing this, rather than sell it as a job block, you see, you break it all down. And again, I might be teaching Granny to suck eggs here, so you have to forgive me. But all of this stuff was in this bag, but obviously I've took it all out and tried to separate it a little bit. A whole pack of batteries. Well, that's about £5 there already. Charger. Apparently that's worth some money. I don't know. Obviously you need that to charge the batteries. A load of spare wheels and tyres. So there's money here. Some of these tyres haven't been used. Some have. Say start chopping it all up, and there's a little box of shit which I have no idea what it is. All stickers, nuts, bolts, and fuck knows what else. So 10 quid. That's why I just thought I'm not even going to hang. I don't, you know, there's no point. I'll just pay the lady what she wants. So that could prove quite fruitful. So the lad next door, young lad, I'm sure he's got petrol ones. But he knows all that shit. He's got, you know, if I asked him, what is this, a proper Tamiya? Is it chassis? Is that what they call chassis, don't they, on cars? He'll be able to tell me. He'll probably be able to tell me rough value, maybe. So that's 25 quid. So that's like half of what of the whole day, essentially. But I thought it was quite a good buy. God, I mean, don't think I bought much else after that. You're just running the roads. You're running the roads, you're scouting, you're keeping an eye out. You know, and there was new cars coming in all the time. And because of the size of it, they were pissing about shit. They were pissing about moving people, you know, not moving people, but dropping people in odd places, not consistently. So you had to really be on the ball in terms of where new cars were rocking up to. And one such one was this, which they started filling up the top end, and then they dropped to at the end, where they'd sort of just finished on, which was really odd. And on this table we had this. I've had these before, I've sold these before, and I've sold them in worse condition than this. This is in lovely condition. He wanted 2 quid. I was like, yes, I should take that. So if you ever see any of these Sony tone banks, bag them, grab them. Even loose, there's money in it. Probably looking at about 25-30 quid for this. It's got no instructions, but it's lovely and clean. Always check the battery compartment. I mean, it's got batteries in it and it works. If you see any of these type of, like, especially the smaller ones, I was speaking to Pete, again, old school, no nonsense reseller, and he's a music guy, right? So he knows his music stuff, and he buys the bigger keyboards, which I've always sort of steered away from a little bit, because I thought, oh, I think it's the not so much the postage. I think people were less inclined or less willing to buy them. He said no, because that's changed. So I said to him, well, it doesn't have to be Casio, it could be any sort of make, but generally what you're after, I don't know if you can see here, is the aux port. As long as it's got an aux port, i.e. the output, because what people do, they synth mod them, so they crack them open and start pissing about and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful shit with it. I don't know, it's beyond me. This is a classic example of stuff I've got no interest in, but I know it's money, and it's dead easy to fucking post. It's dead easy to package and post. It's a box within a box. You bubble wrap the crap out of it, and you post it. 2 quid. Easily 25 quid, 30 quid. 30 quid on a good day. On a similar vein, slightly different and an older one. The box has seen better days, so it's a bit near. Bit of a misfire on the box. It's a realistic concert Make 300. So the box has been mullered. But again, the guy wanted 2 quid. Does have its quite manky instructions. But again, very similar, small form factor keyboard. Again, watch the battery compartment. This one, it's that old, the foam started to deteriorate on the back, so you keep getting like dust fall out of it. But again, you've got the aux or the output there, so perfect for, I'm sure it's synth modding they call it. Again, probably more likely 20-25 on that one. I think it's obviously, you know, like anything Casio or anything. What's the other one that's the good make music? I can't remember, I don't know. You'll know if you see it. Kong. I don't think Kong makes small ones though. They tend to do the bigger ones. So you see what I mean? You soon, as long as they sell. So for 4 quid, I could make like near enough 50 quid. Less your postage, less your fees, 40 quid maybe. There's going to be 5 to post each one. 5 to post, £1 on your fees from eBay. What, another quid or something from PayPal. These are a good buy. See any of these, grab them. I've been buying these for ages. Done really well out of some of these in the past. Along with the Walkmans. This isn't technically a Walkman, it's a CD Walkman. This is on an old boy store. He had quite a few of these, but they're all like album ones. And I saw this one because what he'd done, he had the lid up, So it was like that. So you couldn't really see that it was a Sony one. It's got little instructions as well. It had £4 on it. And I was like, I know that's worth more than £4. Again, another solid 25, 30 quid on that maybe. 30 quid on a good day. Just work tested, so gave it a wipe over. And I always just bag stuff up after that, once I've cleaned it. Because I'm in the conservatory as well, and storage. Once it's cleaned, just gets bagged up, so I don't have to clean it again. And there you go. He wanted £4. I only had £3 change. I said, have you got change for 20 or I've got £3? He went, give it £3. Another tip. What else? Last little bag of shite, and then we're done then. And we're done. Getting new stall turned up. Woman actually had two kids, a girl and a boy. I just asked her if they're in the game stuff. She said no. And then the little boy piped up and said, oh, I've got some Pokemon. And underneath this of a box he had books on top of it. Underneath this was all this Pokemon stuff. And I looked at it a little bit, I thought, and then I seen this tin, I thought, oh, there might be some cards in it. Because obviously it had some weight to it, it's not. It's got these little figures in there. I was like, and I started digging through the box. And it's all mixed in with all different toys. And I sort of thought, okay, there might be something in here. And then I seen one thing and I thought, right, I'll ask her. I said, how much is the Pokemon stuff? She said, well, I was going to ask £1 a thing. So these little balls, I think these are fakes. I think these are fake. So I'm going to ask £1 each. They have these little figures in them. And there's fucking loads of them. There's about 17, I want to say. But anyone that knows Pokemon, I think these are fake because I can't see any maker's name on them. I think they're fake. And I say there's a fucking lot. I'm not going to get them all out, but there's loads. There's about fucking 17 of the bastard things. 15, 17. She had this little thing, and I think I've sold one of these before. This is a Pokemon X and Y Pokédex. Yeah, so this is from 2014, Tomy one. The nice one to get is a small tiger one. It's red, looks like a little old school Filofax type thing. I think it's about 9, 8 quid in that, something. Not anything outstanding. But yeah, I've got this little tin of... I've seen the tin, I thought it might be full of cards. It's not. It's full of more of these figures. Now, again, I'm not... Stuff I take flyers on. So I'm going to try and find one. These have got markings on them that say 2006 China, and they have markings on them. Now the ones, see, this one has no marking on it. So some of these have markings on, some don't. You're not going to be able to fucking see it. I don't know what I'm showing you. But he has a marking on the back, little engraving. So I think he's legit. I think it's a mixture of fakes and reals. Can you see on that one? Look, it says China on the back. See it? Now the other ones don't have any stamps at all, which makes you think they're fake. So there was that tub of stuff. This thing here, fucking God knows how many of them poker things. Then I saw this. I chucked this in as one as well. And I think it was, I think she said 17 quid. I said, oh, she said, oh, should we 15? I went 10. And she looked at the little lad, and I can't remember his name, it was fucking Luke or something. Would you take 10? And he was like, yep. I said, well, yeah, £10 to go buy some sweets. But the one that's basically sealed it is Pikachu Amiibo. 8 quid, CEX, credit, boom. So the little lad was happy. He's got rid of all his Pokemon shit he didn't want. I've probably been lumbered with a load of fakes, let's be honest. But spent a tenner, I can get 8 quid back on him, a couple of quid on the fucking... And I'm sure if I filter through the originals and the fakes, there'll be money in that. So that is it, guys. That is Reselling to Collect, episode 1. The first and probably last episode. Watch all my subscribers go and fuck off now. Say I'm a sellout. But that's what I've been doing for yonks. So you've just not known about it. And trust me, that's what a lot of people do. It's nothing new. I say, we'll see how we get on. I'm not sort of saying it's going to be a kind of haul, a weekly thing or anything. I might not be going next week. I don't know. I need to have a think. because I don't get paid until a week tomorrow, so finances are still really slim on the ground. Gotta whack some of this up, get up some of this shit for sale, maybe make some money, then we'll be going next week and we'll just do all the same all over again. And hopefully with the credit from CEX and wherever else, we'll add some more games to the collection. So yeah, I say won't have all the big fucking preamble before in future ones. I'll title them so that they're relevant, and if you don't want to watch them, then obviously don't. If you do, then more than welcome. Any advice, anyone else know anything about any of this shit, always helpful. Say I'm always willing to learn, you know, and give back. You know, if I can get some tips or whatever, and I'll pass them on. And likewise, so yeah, take it easy YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.